This is video number 1 in the series on the two snakes view of the human body. The two snakes view of the human body is one of the theoretical models of the human body created for Happeh Theory. The creation of the two snakes view of the human body has multiple inspirations. A snake is a creature that most people are familiar with. Most people know what a snake looks like, and they are familiar with the distinctive way that a snake moves. If someone is told that some part of the human body behaves like a snake, most people will be able to visualize what that would look like using their own personal experience with snakes. Another inspiration for the creation of the two snakes view of the human body is that the snake is found in the works of most human cultures. Almost all human cultures have legends, stories, and fables that are either focused on or include the behaviors or qualities of a snake. The snake is a common theme or part of the artwork and handicrafts in a large number of human cultures. Many different religions and philosophies throughout human history include the attributes or behavior of snakes within their teachings. According to Happeh Theory, if almost all human cultures have included snakes in their material, intellectual, and spiritual creations, it is reasonable to conclude that there must be some significant relationship between snakes and human beings. According to Happeh Theory, that significant relationship is that the human body, at a deep level, behaves like two large snakes. One implication of that idea is that the movements of the human body can be described in terms of the movements of two large snakes. Instead of describing the movement of the human body by describing the individual movements of the head, the torso, the arms, and the legs, the movement of the human body can be described in terms of the reactions of the arms, the legs, the torso, and the head to the movements that the two large snakes make. A familiar way to visualize how this works would be to think of the arms, the head, the legs, and the torso of a human being as some clothes covering the two snakes underneath them. Clothes do not move by themselves. Clothes only move as a reaction to the movement of the body underneath them. In the two snakes view of the human body, the arms, the legs, the head, and the torso of a human being are treated as if the only movements they make are a reaction to the movements of the two snakes underneath them. The arms, the legs, the torso, and the head make no independent movements of their own. For the purposes of Happeh Theory, the two snakes within the human body are treated as if they have different configurations. The slight differences between each configuration allow them to better model a particular aspect of the two snakes view of the human body. The first configuration of the two snakes within the human body is shown in this picture. The lower part of each snake is positioned on the inside part of the leg. The remainder of the body of the snake travels straight upwards, which places the head of the snake on the head of the human body. The second configuration of the two snakes view of the human body can be considered a modification of the first configuration of the two snakes view of the human body. The snakes are approximately centered on the same location of the human body in both configurations. The shape of the snakes, though, are distinctly different in each configuration. The second configuration of the two snakes view of the human body is created from snakes whose bodies form a circle by holding their tails in their mouths. The circular object in this picture, with a graphic on it showing a snake-like creature with its tail in its mouth, will represent a snake. Two of the circular snake objects, one approximately centered on each side of the torso, create the second configuration of the two snakes view of the human body. This picture shows a profile view of the two circular snakes, while this picture shows an overhead angled view of the two snakes positioned on the human body. This configuration of the two snakes view of the human body might look familiar. The circular snake object used in the second configuration of the two snakes view of the human body resembles a well-known symbol called an Ouroboros symbol. In fact, the graphic representing snakes on the circular objects is an Ouroboros symbol. There are many different theories about what inspired the creation of the Ouroboros symbol. According to Happeh Theory, the people who created the Ouroboros symbol and all of the other similar symbols showing a creature with its tail in its mouth based those symbols on the two snakes within the human body. According to Happeh Theory, those ancient human beings created the Ouroboros symbol as a self-image of what they really were. According to Happeh Theory, the modern human body is just the same as an ancient human body. The body of modern human beings is composed of two large snakes, just like the bodies of the ancient people who created the Ouroboros symbol were composed of two large snakes. According to Happeh Theory, the Ouroboros symbol is just as much of a self-image of a modern human body as it was a self-image of an ancient human body. The third configuration of the two snakes view of the human body is shown in this picture. Two lines representing the bodies of snakes crisscross back and forth across the human body from one side of the torso to the other. This is an exaggerated picture to make the concept clear. Instead of reaching over to the opposite side of the body, the inside edge of each coiling snake should be located just to the opposite side of the spine, as demonstrated by the thin tubes representing snakes in this picture. The yellow line highlights the spine in the center of the body. The arrows highlight how the inside edge of each snake is just on the other side of the spine, instead of all the way over to the opposite side of the torso. This picture provides the most accurate representation of the third configuration of the two snakes view of the human body. This picture uses the same tubes used in the previous picture to represent snakes. The wavelength of the snake bodies in this picture is shorter, so there are many more coils of each snake body superimposed on the human body. Each snake body in this picture completely surrounds each leg. Each snake body continues upwards, coiling from the outside of the torso to just the other side of the spine, then back out to the side of the torso. Please note that the outside edge of each snake lays on the inside of the arm. When the body of each snake reaches the head, they coil from the outside of the head to just past the center of the head, then back out to the side of the head again. The various insights and other information about the human body that can be provided by the various configurations of the two snakes view of the human body will be presented in future videos of this series.